And we're back. Okay, so I just went and grabbed some lunch. It's about 1:30 right now in the afternoon, and we're about to get started building this out in Webflow. Yes, we're actually gonna start building in the designer. So that first part of the process, I don't know, that took like 40 minutes. I don't know. We'll see once we splice everything together. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. So yeah, let's hop on in. Cool. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead with this design here first. So what we'll go ahead and do, I like keeping this open in one tab. Can I resize this? Ooh, I can. Can I resize this side? Okay, maybe not. That's fine. Um, just wanted to be able to zoom in a little bit more here as we build out each of these sections. Cool. So let's go ahead and let's create a new. Let's call this style guide first, because that's what it is. Style guide. If I can spell style correctly. Style guide. Cool. And then add in page. Let's call this home. And create it. Cool. Blank canvas. And let's make this the actual home page by clicking the make your home page button. Awesome. Cool. So this section has this navigation up here. Typically I try and build out like the symbols first within a site, which would be like that navigation and the footer. So I might build those out first and then build out the other sections, or I can just go from top to bottom. Yeah, let's just go from top to bottom. Okay, cool. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Okay, so we're gonna build out that navigation first, as well as I want to grab whatever this great. Wait, is that FFF or? Oh no, it's F8. It's a pretty common web color. So for that hero section, I'm gonna add in an actual section here. Let's call it hero section. Set to relative clear. Pardon my old habits here. That's for like IE support. I'm gonna paste in that F8 color. Gonna add that as one of our global colors. Fate. F8. Cool. So I want to add in. I don't know if it's going to be a sticky nav or not. I kind of want it to be because I think that would be cool. Like maybe when we scroll down, like the nav kind of like shrinks up and then becomes that nice little like nav that just sits in the top left hand corner or something. I think that would be cool. So that's probably what we'll end up doing there. Cool. So here's that section. We're going to add in a container. Let's give it that container class. And I want to add in just a div block and give it that container class for that little container hack, because I think this is like an 1140 grid. I don't even know how to see grids on here. Sir. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I used to have like a little rulers extension, like Chrome extension. I don't know if there's a way to access those. I don't know. That's okay. What happens if I just like draw a box? Does it show me the dimensions? Down to like this portion. I don't see any dimensions. Or wait, 1057. So it's probably like about 1040. That 1040 grid is pretty common. So I'll just set like a max width of 1040. Cool. There we go. Really not much wider than the other one. Cool. So let's get on back over here. And we're going to have that right side image. Okay, cool. So on this container, going to add in like 250 pixels of padding on the top and about 150 pixels on the bottom. And going to add in, let's see, I think we're going to go with like, what's an H5 style on this, or like, this will be our H1 technically, because I'm going to change it from, I guess I could stick to this original one. Let's see, American original. Quick, got that text. This might not actually need to be a heading whatsoever, but if that was aviation American Gen, if it made it aviation American Gen, which might be what I'll keep it as, then I would make it an H1. So let's call this like maybe we can use beam. So let's call it hero H1. And that's going to be like really small font. Is that like 14 1M? Cool. Yeah, that'll work. Let's add in, it's technically going to be an H2. We want those H1 styles. Darn, I should have associated that appropriately, but that's okay. Hero H2, and let's go with, what font was that again? Lucida Grande. Cool. And is it all caps? Yeah, it's all caps. Fly above the clouds. Very nice. All caps. 64 pixels. So line break there. It shouldn't be. Wait, should it be bold? No, it's regular. That's interesting. It's still rendering the bold. Okay, cool. I digress. And then some text. Okay. And a small paragraph element. Elevated, smoother, balanced. I might keep that all on one line there, as it looks kind of nice. And then let's add in a button. Give it that button class. Button. And that's going to say buy now. And this button, let's give it some, you should do like margin 75. So I'll add in like 75 pixels of margin to the top, just so it's, you know, sitting right there. Yeah, because that's about how much space there is there. And this is going to be inside of a slider. I wonder if maybe this part is going to be sliding and this part over here on the right is not part of the slider. I'm thinking what would be we can make it all as one slider. I don't, debating now. This would be the part where it'd be fun if this was a live stream, to actually be going through that. But hey, you know what? I'll make the call here. I'm gonna make this part an actual slider over here, just so this text here slides. So, but I want to add in that right side image just so like we kind of have that balance going on. So I'm just gonna add in that div block and call it hero right side image. It's gonna be absolutely positioned to the top right. It's about like 35% of the width, and 100% of the height. Yeah, and it's gonna have a background image in it. Yeah, it's this one right here. Set that to cover. Might make it a little bit wider. Oh, can I use 42? Oh, it's so close. Like 40% is probably perfect, but 42 is my favorite number. We'll work it in somewhere else. Okay, cool. So now we've got that. And we want that little play button piece. So we're going to add in a light box. Let's grab a light box link, drag that over here. And I'm going to set the actual image inside of it to be like display none. Call this hero lightbox and set it to absolute positioning on the left side. And let's see, can I flex this? Yeah, let's just go ahead and flex it. Because that way this should show up here. Let's add something inside of it so we can actually see it. Oh. Well, let's see what it looks like. 50 by 50, or no, 100 by 100. 75 by 75. Yeah, that looks about right. Relative positioning, it's got that yellow background color to it. And 100% border radius. Cool. And okay. So, it's interesting that this is just going like full width there. Let's make it 75 by 75. And I would think that the flex positions would cause that to like go over to the left there. It might also be because of that absolute positioning that I placed on it. Yeah, that was it. If it's relative positioning, it's fine. So it needs to be left like negative, what is that? 32 and a half? No. 35 and a half. Yeah, there we go. And then we want a little icon inside of there. So I'm going to rename this to play icon because we're going to use this a few more times. And let's add that little right side arrow in there. Did we export that? Yeah. There we go. And let's set this to flex styles and we want to center. Cool. Yeah, how's that looking? Nice. I think this icon might be a little bit bigger. Let's see if we make it like 20. No, that's too big. 15 pixels. That looks good. Cool. And let's open up aviation gen over here. And it's probably going to be this video. So copy that video URL. And I'm going to add that in here. Cool. So that way when you play this, it'll be that same video. Let's add in that navigation. So I'm going to add a nav bar. Drag that up here and call it nav bar. Set it to fixed positioning. Top left there. And it's only going to take up like 60%. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of that background color. It's a nav bar. So by default, it's like DDD. Set that to transparent. And let's add in the logo. Right here. Nice and big. Okay, we're gonna add a bit of padding to the nav bar, maybe on the top here. Just do some padding all around. Cool, and I rarely ever do this. I never set, oh, what's this gonna do? Flexbox styles on here. Well, never mind, we want that to like line up. So scratch a few of those items. We're gonna set this to 100% width. Yeah, give this container a class of container. Okay, and nav. I'm gonna adjust this padding here. Cool. And I'm gonna set this stuff here. Let's see, this container. So if we flex it and set that to a line there, it's gonna be and thinking, what size do we want this exactly? Because another approach, well, there are a few different ways you can kind of do this design. Sorry, I don't mean to hide behind this little microphone here. I think you're just watching the screen. Let's see this nav menu. Nav menu. Let's make the width. Let's make that in percentages. 40%. Not 400%. 50%. 46.5. That's getting pretty close. And I'm gonna float, or not float these over, but set them to go to the right hand side there. I think they might be set to float, or they're just inline block. I usually never use this many flexbox styles. Right here. So, okay, these nav links. What's that font? It's Roboto. I might go with that Clara font that we were using earlier. Origins. Production. Cocktails. And locator. And let's call these all nav links. Nav link. Practicing my keyboard shortcuts here. So Control Enter, nav link. Cool, and I want them all, floating right here. And by default, they should have like this gray color to them instead. Is that this gray? Yeah, there we go. And this one, we're going to point to this page. So it'll be in that active state. And just set that to black. Cool. Gonna add a little hover real quick. It'll be black when we hover, and add a transition for font color. 200. Yeah, that works. Cool. Okay, so there's the hero section initially. Now we need to add in a slider that takes care of this content here. Cool, so let's drop in a slider and hero slider and make it, is it like 50%? Yeah. And going to set the height to truly be auto, because by default it's actually 300 pixels. Little known tip. And also remove that background color. Boom. And we don't have any arrows on this one, so I'm just going to hide the arrows. Let's give it a class of hidden arrow. Set that to display none. Arrow display none. Okay, cool. And now we want to drag this content into that first slide. Doing it, yeah. And the button. There we go. Cool. And the slider's kind of like over to the right hand side there. Like the actual slider panel. So slide nav. Make it like 50%. And set it over to bottom right. I don't know why let's get rid of this margin. Should be over on the right. Let's make this like 200 pixels. It's not going to affect anything. Okay. That's interesting. Don't want it fixed position unless it's just in here. I'd like for it to be absolute positioning, but I don't know why it's not like lining up on that side. Let's remove this. Okay. And we'll need to use a little bit of custom code to style up this nav. And see if maybe changing, yeah, it's not going to adjust that color. You'll need a little bit of custom code to make that work. Pardon the squeaky chair. Okay, then I'm just going to copy and paste these, or this slide. So now we've got fly above the clouds. What else do we have over here? Any kind of fun stuff. Let's maybe go with please fly responsibly. Just so I've got some content there. Cool. Okay. So let's take a look here. Making this responsive is going to be a lot of fun. Cool. Add a little alt tag here. Aviation, American Gin logo. And yeah, usually I end up building the whole desktop layout before I go to the mobile variant, so I'll stick to that workflow for now. Cool, let's see, we could probably make this slider a little bit bigger. So not quite 50%, but like, yeah, 62%, that'll work. Cool, then we've got a little bit more room to work with here. Don't really want that orphan balanced over there. So move that. Okay, let's make this next section. This one should go fairly quick. Cool. So let's collapse this. Drop in a section. Let's call it a section. Add in a container. And let's call it 75. 75 top, bottom. So I do that a lot whenever I'm adding like a combo class. I'm just going to do like 75 pixels on top and bottom. I might end up adjusting that to like 150 or something later down the road, but we'll see. So here we've got 2 columns, and we've got that background image of the airplane. So let's add in this airplane background. Airplane. Grab an image. Or wait, we could do it as an absolute positioned image and then kind of animate it. Yeah, let's do that instead. Get rid of that. And we can delete that style later. So any of those styles that we're not using, we can clean those up. So we got like 12 styles that we aren't using right now. Now we can go ahead and remove those. Cool. Make the CSS file a little bit lighter. Okay, so we've got the 2 columns in there. So I'm just going to add in a row of columns. Cool. And that first one, add in like that H4. Yeah. That's that small batch. It's kind of big. How big is that? Size 20 font. That's size 18. Let's stick with that for now. And let's call this like a content. What do we call this? Like content title, basically. And I want to associate this, all this information. So I'm just like adding these styles in to make sure that they are set with this class. Because I actually want this to be an H2. Get rid of that. And let's add like 75 pixels of margin. And then we're going to add in setting. So it's technically could be an H2 or an H3. But I'm going to get this copy in here. And let's set it to all caps. Let's call it section large heading. And we've got some fun little line breaks. So how to got all these line breaks. 2 innovators, prohibition and juniper led to oh, we've got a line break over there. And juniper led to the first American craft gen. Okay, yeah. That font size is 52. It's going to be huge. No, let's go with, yeah, size 40 pixels. Yeah, because that should stay in there at 38. Yeah, let's go with that. And now we need a paragraph over here. Drop in that paragraph. Copy that text. Get those line breaks in. So he set off to Portland to meet the distiller. And the next line break is at without a precise flight plan. Cool. And we could adjust the columns here. Yeah, that looks nice. now we need that airplane down here. So let's add in, just drag the image directly. Where's our airplane? Herbs. Okay, there's our image. Set it to high DPI. And let's call this airplane. And set it to absolute positioning at the bottom. And we want this row to be sitting on top of all this content. So let's row, set it to that relative positioning, give it a higher Z index. Cool. There we go. So I was thinking it could be neat, maybe have the airplane kind of slide in from like the right hand side as you scroll down, so it looks like it's flying. So we could add in, we could do that right now. It's like while we're scrolling in this section, usually I only do this later on, like adding in the interactions. I thought it'd be fun to add now. Airplane. So select that image and that's a movement. I also want to adjust the opacity. Cool. I might change the opacity to like hit 100% here. Be at 0% here. And for movement, we want it to be over like 100%. And its opacity to be at 0%. And it's going to move to 0%. Cool. So that'll look something like that as we scroll through. Might move this on up here, just so I've got like a little more fun animation. So as you scroll into this section, got the airplane kind of coming through. I might move this down. Let's move this to like 75% of the way through. Yeah. There we go. Cool. It'll look better once we have all the other content there. Cool. On to this next section. Okay, so it's like a dark section. Some larger font here. So it's got like a 3-column feel to it. Cool. So let's go add in that new section. Section dark. So you're going to set that to black background. And it's going to have white font. And let's add in container. And it's going to be the 75 top and bottom. Cool. And it's got this tiny heading. What font size is that heading though? The production, 20 pixels again. So it's like the same text as that, but it's a bit different. So we'll just duplicate this class. Let's say content. Luciano. I don't remember how to spell the font name. I'm gonna try to rename it. Lucida. Lucida. Cool. And they have it a size 20, but that's pretty big. Yeah, that's fine. Let's call it the production. The production. All caps. It's going to be in white. And this should all be inside of a row. Let's maybe use some flexbox styles in this one. Especially, we're gonna have like this right side image here, so that makes things a little bit different compared to the other page. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, let's just use this. 3 rows. Drag this in here. Add in a paragraph. Call it light paragraph. Let's copy this. And size 40. I think that's where the line break was. Yep. Cool. Let's call this like a flex row. And gonna flex it. Cool. There we go. This font just looks so much smaller. Oh yeah, it's because this should be size like 40. Oh, that's massive though. I think at like 20 pixels looks good. And we'll make these 16. Yeah. Now we've got like a golden 100 and then small subheading, which will be the same as this little small content Lucida piece. So let's add in, it's got like gold 100 and it just started raining gold text. It's about size 40. Cool. 100. Okay, let's make this, let's adjust this like a tiny bit. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see if we set this to kind of go to the top here. Yeah, we'll probably end up doing that. And this one doesn't really need 75 pixels, maybe 50 pixels. Yeah, we're going to add some padding to the top of this column. Like 50 pixels. Let's add in small content Lucida. And it's going to say Aviation Cocktail Anniversary. And there we go. This right side, we're going to end up doing something a bit different. But let's get these added in. Just doing some copy and pasting. So we've got 97 points. And 84 proof. Oop. I click the page up button. Oh, interesting. Looks like that got me this piece back. Something I did want to add was some padding to the container class. Just do like 10 pixels. Let's do it on this container here. Yeah. It's 10 pixels on either side, just for resizing purposes. Cool. Okay, so then we've got that right side piece, which is going to be similar to the one that we have up here already. So I might just go ahead and copy and paste this over. I don't see why not. And duplicate this class. Right side, drink. And let's see, let's drag that into that column 3. Why not? Let's see if we can set these. So just go ahead and stretch. Yeah, that'll work. And yeah, got that right side drink, and it's gonna be like 100% width, maybe a little bit bigger, and we're gonna have negative margin. Oh no! It's okay to use it for these kinds of designs, in my opinion, at least. And we want to change out that background image to that fun little distillery photo. Where was it? Is it this one? Yeah, I think it's that one. Cool. And let's make this, let's duplicate this and go with like 150 top, bottom. And change this to 150 and 50. And be sure to set this entire section to overflow hidden. Cool. So now we've got this section built out here. And that was a little bit taller. So I might end up setting this height here. Let's see. Column 3. It's like the image. Or wait, what are we going to call this? Production. Image call. Yeah, something like that. 120%. So Flexbox Styles doesn't like it when you do that. Let's see, 40 VH. We're going to adjust it. Yeah, just go with VH units. 65 VH. And then like negative 15 VH. Not quite that much. Yeah, somewhere around there. That looks about close to right. So I click like, is a page up or? I don't know what I did earlier. But I like made this work basically. Because I know when I adjust this down, it's going to be a bit different. So let's see if we just, well, yeah, we have that in column 3. So resizing that shouldn't be an issue. Cool. Let's see. So let's go to that next section. Okay, so this one, I want to build it so that it's going to be responsive. Okay, I think I know what I want to do here to make that happen. So we got like that 50-50 split. Should be really neat. Okay, think a little bit. Cool, we're almost at 45 minutes for the segment. So doing pretty good. I mean, that's pretty quick for how much work we've already done. Just to have, was it 3 more sections total? Yeah. Should go pretty quick. This one's probably going to be the most challenging section out of all of them. With this layout at least. But maybe we could just use grid. Why not? Yeah, let's do it. So, cool, let's add in section. And let's do like dark. And add in a container. The container class. Should I get the dark? No, it's good. Oh, we forgot to get one of those background images out. Let's export this as a JPEG. What's that preview look like? Sure. Yeah, that'll work. And boop. Cool. So let's Let's not do dark. Yeah, just go with light. And I'm gonna add in div that's just gonna sit like absolute right block, which is gonna be 50% of the width, 50%, and 100% of the height. And it's gonna have that new background image, which we just uploaded. I feel like there's more to that background. What's this right here? Parallax background. Okay, so let's merge these. Whoa. They're already grouped. Can I put them in like a folder? Group selection. Okay. Background group. Okay, let's export that. Okay. So we just want the JPEG. I don't want that right side portion there. How do I set it to only... Okay, I only want this part of the selection, and I want all those effects on it. It's probably really easy to do. I just don't know how to do it. Use as mask? Nope, that was not what I wanted. Use as mask. Nope. Yeah, I don't know how that works. But I'll export this. And I think when I'm going to open up Photoshop to just crop this image. Or wait, maybe it's already cropped, but I don't want that bottom portion of the image. So I'll just export that background group. And I'm going to open this up with Photoshop. As long as that doesn't crash OBS. It's done that before where it just ends up crashing OBS because it just uses up all the RAM. Looks like it's cooperating, but we'll see. Okay, cropping that. Saving out this file. Clouds. And then I'm going to upload that. Cool. Let's go and upload this image. Cool. That's what we wanted. Can we replace? There we go. And it's going to be set to cover. Yeah, let's leave it at that. It'll fill out once we add in more content here in a minute. Cool. So, okay, we've got that right side piece now. And in this container, we have like these two columns here basically. I'm probably just going to do like a column or a row for each of these just so it makes it easy to go through. Let's drop in that row and let's adjust the container to 70. Let's do 150 top and bottom. And in here, I'm going to add in like the let's make this an H2. What happens if we give this hero H2? H2. Except this one, I'm going to duplicate that. See a heading. It's not going to be all caps. It's going to say cocktails. This will be, let's do 75 top bottom. Cool. Okay, we've got that. And let's make this a bit smaller. Let's see, is there one Let's match this one. 38 pixels. There we go. 38 pixels. And then make sure that let's make our container sit on top of all of this. That's going to be relative positioning. Cool. And then this one has that little American, this image here. Drag that in. High DPI, or I thought this was. Yeah, if we had a higher res image there, it might look a little bit better. Yeah, that's fine. Let's call this small airplane. So it's like 50% of the width. Yeah. Cool. There we go. So we've got that. I kind of want these to align vertically. So I'm going to give this flex vertical align class. Whoa. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Those are nice and aligned. Very nice. Looking good. Cool. So now we've got another row, and this will be our first cocktail row. Yeah, we can just do the 2 columns, and it breaks out perfectly here. I'll just add like columns within columns, or I'll use Flexbox styles. Yeah. Cool. So on the left side, we've got this little subheading. I think we've used one. Yeah, it's almost this, but it's going to be black instead. Dark. Cool. Cocktail. And the name of the cocktail. Let's get rid of this. Just call it drink name. Do we have the bold font? It's basically just bolded. It's fine. Tom Collins. There's a bit more space between these two, so let's make sure to account for that here. 75 pixels, maybe more. We can always adjust that later on. It's like 5 pixels. Maybe 10. And I almost want to make this smaller. Yeah. Make size 12. Maybe 14. Yeah, let's go with 14. Yeah, 15 pixels. And we want to drop these inside of a div because we're going to use some Flexbox styles here. Sometimes it's easier to organize here. Yeah, there we go. We're going to call this a flex call. Whenever I flex something, I just call it a flex call. I know it's quite original, but I digress. And now we want all the ingredients. Ingredients column. And let's add a paragraph there. Set a width on this. Drink name parent. Drink name holder. Set that to like 50% in the width. Gradients. Yeah, that'll work. And let's see if we can just copy and paste this over. How's that gonna look? Okay. Let's got these extra line breaks. We'll adjust the font size here shortly. Or we can just adjust the width here. Yeah, set this down to like 42 because I can. That's why I'm doing that. In case you're wondering. So this can be 58. Cool. That looks nice. And then we just want that image in the right side there. Let's grab, it's this one, yeah. And I'm going to get rid of the padding on this column and make this, yeah, we can make this image, drink image, 60% of its width, maybe a bit bigger. We can go with 80%, looks nice. And no padding column. Cool. Now we've got that taken care of. And we're just going to copy and paste this. And the next drink is Negroni Upgrade. Just going to swap out the image. And I might end up removing, yeah, I'm going to remove the class name from these images. And turn off ITPI settings. Cool. Maybe 42 is just a little too small. Yeah, it was. Oof. Okay, 48%. Yeah, about 48% of that width does the trick there for us. But we need a tiny bit of padding on this. It's 10 pixels. Cool. Okay, we didn't get that line break up here, so that works out. But here they have that way smaller. So I might adjust some sizing here. This is like size 20. This size 12. Okay. Okay. I know you're thinking, these widths don't line up. That's because Flexbox does that. Just a nice facet of Flexbox. 42%. I still like to make them match. Cool. Okay, we got to keep that. Need to add in the appropriate ingredients. Cool. And I'd make these all like dynamic later on. So you don't have to like write any code to like swap these out. This next one's bee's knees. Really like that image. It's beautiful. And let's make this one a bit bigger. Cool. It's called bee's knees. Bee's knees. Cool. And that gradient. Cool. There we go. And how many more? Just one more. Amelia Earhart. And I might have spelled that incorrectly earlier. Let's look it up. Amelia. Oh, it is without a D. Awesome. Amelia Earhart was amazing. Cool. Yeah, I definitely spelled the image name incorrectly. So I'm sorry about that. Let's make this one. That'll work. It's kind of fun having all these different images, like the different sizes there. So that's nifty. Okay, we've got 2 more sections here. We're almost done. I am going to take a little break, and I'll be right back. Cool.